What is up, you guys? It is Semi45 here, and it's 2015 now. And looking back at what 2014 brought us, it has been a great year for the world of Android, for the world of iOS, for my YouTube channel, and for my life in general. So, in celebration of what 2015 is bound to bring us this year, I'm gonna be giving you guys a throwback into 4 videos: one for Android, one for iOS, one for my YouTube channel, and one for my life. And in this video, we're going to be talking about what 2014 brought us in the world of Android. So, let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you guys want to check out any of the videos that I just mentioned before the intro, feel free to check the links in the video description below to check out any of those videos that I just mentioned. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video, and let's take a look back at what 2014 brought us in the world of Android. And so guys, Android last year has been a great year for the platform itself. From all of the announcements of some really great smartphones and tablets released from a lot of OEMs like Samsung, HTC, LG, which surprisingly did well, Motorola, etc., to the announcement of Android TV, Android Wear on wearables, and Android Auto in cars, which by default is extending its operating system to different platforms besides just smartphones and tablets, and much more that made Android now what we've always come to know it as: open and free to extend itself towards other platforms, just like I just mentioned. So with that in mind, here's what I thought. Here's what I thought, guys, were my top 5 announcements of Android as a mobile operating system, not as a platform for cars or TVs or whatever, because that's not what I specialize here on this channel. I only specialize in Android as a mobile operating system for smartphones and tablets. So with that in mind, guys, here are my top 5 announcements of Android as a mobile operating system in 2014. So guys, coming in at number 5 is the announcements of 2K displays on smartphones, so or otherwise known as Quad HD displays. So if you guys look back into 2008 when the first Android smartphone was announced, in case you're wondering, that was the HTC Dream. Screens during those years until maybe about 2011 or 12, I think, screens during that time haven't really evolved into much. Like, you'd only get really small screens from 3 inches to 4 inches, with very small screens that range from that couldn't even reach 720p. But looking at it now, since we're here now in 2015, screens as a whole on smartphones and tablets have really evolved, mostly in the smartphone area, not really on tablets. The OEMs haven't really been concentrating that much on screens on tablets, except making them bigger, but not really concentrating too much on the pixel density or the screen resolution. So screens on tablets haven't really evolved that much as a whole, so on tablets. But in smartphones, these OEMs have really taken into concept and making these screens a lot bigger, which now range from 4 inches to 6 inches, to making them higher, like from starting when we started out with 1280 to 720p, all the way to 1920 by 1080p, and now we're all the way to 2560 by 1440, otherwise known as 2K or Quad HD displays. And most likely this year we should be getting maybe 6K or 8K displays soon, but only time will tell this year if those screens will ever reach smartphones or tablets. or if OEMs are dedicated to doing that. So that's why this is my number 5 announcement in Android as a mobile operating system in 2014. And coming in at number 4, guys, is the announcement of NVIDIA's Tegra K1 processor and Adreno's 420 or 440 GPU. So not only have screens been getting bigger and wider and much more crisper and brighter with all these screen resolutions, graphics on Android also, whether it's in an app or in a game in Android, graphics as a whole on Android have really set the limits and have put it on par with consoles and PCs nowadays, and now have really shown that Android has no limits to graphics whatsoever, bringing like console quality like apps and games towards this platform itself, making it limitless to what Android is possible of and what it can become in the near future. And graphics as a whole on Android have evolved into something great and something beautiful that we can all enjoy for media consumption. And these GPUs, NVIDIA's Tegra K1 processor and Adreno's 420 or 440 GPU, have really taken advantage of these graphics and made them and really pushed them to Android's potential of becoming something better and something open that everyone can use as a great media consumption. So that's why NVIDIA's K1 processor and Adreno's 440 or 420 GPU is my number 4 pick. Coming in at number 3 is Qualcomm Snapdragon 801, 805, and pretty soon upcoming 810. So not only have these screens been getting bigger and these graphics have been getting better on Android, these processors have been worked up and been pushed to the limits and have been working great on all these smartphones and tablets and making them optimized for battery life on all these smartphones and tablets, making them take advantage of everything that a processor is capable of, pushing it to its limits, pushing it to do great multitasking, to fly through apps fast, to play and load through games very quickly. And you guys have probably seen that in a lot of YouTube videos that show off these speed tests with all these smartphones. You can probably see that whether one is better than the other. Qualcomm Snapdragon processor as a whole on their lineup has really taken advantage of battery life, multitasking, and basically just making everything work fast and work fluidly throughout the whole OS. So that's why Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 and 805 processors is my number 3 pick. So coming at number 2, guys, may sound like a surprise to you because this hasn't really taken off in the world of Android just yet, and it's very underrated, but I still think it deserves a spot on this list, which is curved displays on smartphones. So as you guys have probably seen in a lot of the trade shows and the electronic shows like CES or whatever, or MWC, if you guys have probably noticed, curved displays on a lot of tech nowadays, especially on smartphones, haven't really taken off and really reached its full potential just yet because of certain limits that it has to what it can really do, and it hasn't really found a purpose in this in the market just yet, because this is only really like an experiment in the world of Android right now, and it hasn't really taken off and really used its full potential to become something that it can become really useful for. So that's why I'm including this as my number 2, because it's very underrated. It hasn't really taken off quite yet, but I still believe it has some potential of becoming better this year or in the coming years to come. And hopefully these displays will somehow become useful and help out to make people's lives slightly or significantly better, depending on how an OEM really harnesses this power and how they really use it to their advantage to make it something that it can become useful for consumers like us. So that's why curved displays is my number 2 pick on this list. And lastly, coming at number 1, guys, on my top 5 announcements in Android as a mobile operating system in 2014, shouldn't be a surprise to you because it has been one of the biggest and most important announcements in Android to date, and that is Android Lollipop. So there are many obvious reasons why this is my number 1 pick. One, because of its new fresh look that looks very flat, very clean, and very fluid. To its new animations that it goes through so that you know where everything is coming from and where it goes. To its new multitasking tray where it has a sort of card UI to look through all the apps that are open and gives you a better preview of what that app looks like there in its last state. To material design, giving it a very fresh and clean look to it and making it more simplistic and more intuitive, to making Android what it was always meant to be. To its new battery saving mode that extends the battery life of your Android device to approximately 90 minutes according to Google. To its new screen pinning feature where if you're inside one app, you get to stay in that app and make sure no one else goes anywhere else, because you cannot exit with the home button or the back button, and the only way to get out of it is pressing the back button and the multitasking button at the same time to unpin your screen. And a ton of more features that really optimize Android to what it is always meant to be, and just bringing Android now to the front of every other OEM, and just one of what I think has been one of the greatest updates to Android that I have seen in my last 2 years of using Android. So that's why Android Lollipop is my number 1 pick on this list. And that is it, guys. That is my top 5 announcements for Android as a mobile operating system in 2014. Now, I know I may be missing out on a lot of other things, so if you guys felt like I missed anything, feel free to let me know in the comment section below, because I'd love to hear your opinions. And like I said, if you guys want to check out any of the videos that I mentioned before, feel free to look in the video description below as well for you guys to get the links to any of those videos that you want to see. And that is it, guys. So if you guys like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, because that will definitely help me out. And if you have any suggestions on what I should do next, or if you have any problems with this whatsoever, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And while you're at it, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I got tons more content coming your way. I release a new video every Saturday and Sunday. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys will like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I left all those links in the video description below. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. This is the Mice 45 signing off.